Hello, I'm excited to be back. So, I'm going to be addressing the issue of domestic violence. You see, there are two ways out of domestic violence, either death or divorce. These are the two basic ways out of domestic violence. You either lose your life in the process or you abandon your marriage. Then, if these are the two processes out of domestic violence, so how can it be tamed? How can we be sure that we don't get ourselves involved in the issue of domestic violence? Now, first, let's look at what is domestic violence in the first place. Domestic violence is when one part. Domestic violence, I will define it in my own term, is when one partner tries to maintain control over the other through the use of violence. This is my own definition. There are other definitions to it. When one partner tries to maintain control or to take control over one partner through the use of violence. So this thing happens at home because domestic violence is, how will I put it, is it's about control. That is the basic fact. Domestic violence is about control. When maybe the man thinks, I no longer have power, I'm losing power, then he resorts to domestic violence, he resorts to violence to maintain control over his wife. So that is just what domestic violence is all about. Even in the international community, you will see countries who want to use conflict to maintain control, or to have, how will I put it, either to balance power or to get power or to conquer a territory. So those are most of the causes of international conflict. So the same thing applies in our marriages, in our homes. When one partner feels that I no longer in control of my house, I want to take control of my house. So the best measure he or she thinks is through the use of violence. Don't forget, I will classify two types of violence: physical abuse and the verbal abuse. Statistically, it is being said that a woman have about 7,000 words per day to use, so she must finish them. And while the man have about 2,000 something words per day, so that means his own is limited. So now you can't compare the man's verbal power to the woman's verbal power. There is no comparison at all. So what happened is, the woman wants to use her words. It is given by nature. And the man have a limited words. So he's very conservative about it. But there is another aspect of a man that I want to bring to your notice. Man might not have the kind of verbal ability like the woman, but he have his own physical strength. The power of a woman is in her tongue, but the power of the man is in her muscle, is in his muscle, in his strength. So God designed it that way, so that there will be an equation, balance of equation. The man have the strength. What was his strength for? To protect his family, to provide for this family, essentially to provide security for the family. Those were the essence of the strength God gave to man, because the Bible said man is the head of the house, of the home. Man is the head. It is the duty of the man to provide security, to provide every necessary thing for the family. But the woman, on the other hand, have a verbal power. The word God gave you, we were supposed to use it to speak life into your husband. You're supposed to use your tongue to speak life into your husband, to speak life into your children, to speak life into your environment. So this is how God designed it. Like I said in the last video, There are principles that God has set in place that if you walk against them, it's going to work against you. So God did not make any mistakes when he made that kind of design, giving the woman strength, giving the woman the vital power. Both of them have power. But now the question is, what are you using the power for that you have? Your vital power, what are you using it for? Your physical strength, what are you using it for? So this is where the distortion comes in. You see, I have watched some homes, I have watched some family that are embedded into serious conflict, serious domestic violence. Some are even lead to near deaths and all the rest of the thing. A man, I will state this, a man who raises his hand to beat his wife, first of all, understand, have his own problem with himself. Yes, I will tell you, have his own problem with himself. Maybe he have a security problem, low self-esteem, and all the rest of the thing, all the baggages that he brought into marriage and every other thing. Then in his insecurity, you as a wife, you're supposed to use your tongue to make sure that he feel confident at home before going out. You see, women, we have a lot of wars to fight. The only war we don't like to fight is the one at home. A man wants to come home and drop his guard. He cannot keep on his guard outside, then coming home, still keeping up his guard inside the house, because he doesn't know what the wife is going to say. He doesn't know what it's not certain about his environment. So this is where I want to talk to the women first before I delve in talking to the men. You see, the tongue you have, your vital power, you were supposed to use that vital power to make sure that you speak life on a daily basis into your husband. You become his number one cheerleader. You become his supporter. You become his, whenever he's down, you are the one to lift him up. Whenever he's feeling discouraged, whenever he's feeling insecure, you are the one, because he chooses you, because he thinks that you have the potential to fill the void, the vacuum that he doesn't have. Maybe he sees you more confident than him. Maybe what he needs is just your approval. Honey, you can do it. Honey, you are more intelligent. Honey, you are this. Honey, you are that. Honey, you are that. Honey, you are. You see, what you are doing, you're actually helping him to build his self-esteem. You're actually helping him to have more courage to face the world the way it is. That's why they said every successful man, there is a woman. So the woman speaks life into the woman's to the man's life. Now, what we have seen, as I would say, there are two sides to a man's life. There's a beast nature in man, and there's a king nature in man. So you as a woman, it depends on the side of the man you are speaking to. If you speak to his king, his kingly nature, you will become the queen. If you speak to his beastly nature, you will become a victim, because the man already feels insecure with himself. So now you coming with your word to further destroy his psychic, to damage his psychic by the word you say, by the hurtful word you say to him. I have seen many women who use their mouth to wash down their husband, both outside, publicly, and everything. At home, do you think you are a man? Is that how men behave? Do you look at you? Can't you see so and so person? That is the man you have chosen to love for the rest of your life. That is the man. Don't forget, Bible said, think in the book of Psalm 133. He said, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Do you know what happens when there is unity at home? The blessings of God begin to come into that home. But when there is a disunity, the devil takes over your home. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your children. It's going to affect your generation. So why not use the power that God has given you, your verbal power, to speak life into your husband, to speak life into your children, to speak life into your environment, to encourage your husband the best way you can, to make sure that he have whatever it takes, support him morally. You see, what a man needs from a woman is support, loyalty, respect. If you cannot respect your husband, get out of that marriage. If you cannot be loyal to your husband, get out of that marriage. If you cannot support your husband, get out of that marriage. You're not, in fact, you're not fit for that marriage. So begin to think about how to use your verbal power to create the kind of environment you want, instead of using your mouth to tear it. Bible said, I think in the book of in the book of Proverbs, that a wise woman builds her home. A wise woman builds her home. So home building is a responsibility of the woman. The women are responsible for building the kind of peace they want at home, the kind of harmony they want at home. The man does not determine all these things, because the man is like a stranger most of the time in his home. He comes home, he goes out. He comes home, he goes out. So you are the one to build your home by your own words. Let me tell you something, what Proverbs said also. He said, a soft words turns away wrath. A soft words, but a grievous ones stir up anger. So as a woman, use your words rightly. Don't think because you have the right to say it, or you can say it, that doesn't give you the right to say it. You are destroying the man's psyche. And in response to what you try to destroy, he uses physical strength to control you. That is what the major cause of domestic violence at home. You are trying to use your words to destroy his psyche, but he's trying to use his strength to control you. You want to use your word to control him. He wants to use his strength to control you. So you see, there is conflict. And most of the time, women go into physical fight with their husband. I have seen where the woman said, you're not going anywhere. We will die here. You want fight? I will give it to you. Let's do this. And they are ready to fight. You see, as a woman, you are supposed to be soft. You were not designed by God. Yes, the environment may have raised you that way, but you can't remain that way if you want to have a successful home. You may have been raised in a home filled with anger, tension, violence, and all the rest of the thing. But have you ever sit down actually and ask yourself, is this who I am actually? Is this who God have created me to be? Or am I allowing my environment to determine who I'm going to become? I have seen people who grew up in an environment where there is so much tension, there is so much anger. They may resent that environment, but they replicate that environment somewhere else. They begin to see themselves as my mother is, or as my father is. You see, you don't allow your environment to dictate who you become. You decide who you become when you leave that environment. You see, most of the time when we leave an environment, the environment does not leave us. Those were the things that the children of Israel suffered in the wilderness, because they have left Egypt. Egypt didn't leave them. That's why in every given opportunity, they want to go back to Egypt. And the more they want to go back to the Egypt, the more the journey become longer. The journey of 40 days took how many years? So you see, God have his own way of doing his own thing, or the way he designed his own thing specifically for everyone to enjoy when you understand the principles. When you understand that as a woman, you're supposed to be soft for your husband to handle. You are supposed to be soft for your you can be tough on your children, but for your husband, you're supposed to be soft on your husband. Now, as a husband, the way I treat a ball of onions is not going to be the same way I will treat an egg, because I can throw a ball of onion out or whatever, and it will bounce, it will not break. But if I throw an egg out like that, it will go broken, and I will lose the value of that egg. That is the same way a woman is. A woman is supposed to be treated like an egg. But when you make yourself as a ball of onions, a man is going to throw you because he knows you are strong enough to resist whatever you are being thrown at. So make yourself soft for your husband. I'm not talking about for men. I'm talking about for your husband. Make yourself soft for your husband. Bible said, woman, submit. Submit to me softness. Submission does not mean foolishness. It means softness. Be soft to your husband. Be soft with your husband. Use your word to encourage your husband. So In the next video, I'm going to address the issue of men. So just make sure you tune in. Thank you very much.